Alright, we are off. Looks like betastrep has chosen Tav sprite, and up2ng using the default sprite. Let's see what they get in the throne room. Fighter's ring, dragon scale, so a little bit of boost, and a magic key, of course. So that putting the fighter's ring on will actually put them above 20 strength, I believe.
Will it put them over 20 strength or just 20 attack power?
It may be attack power, actually. I think you're correct there.
But still, nothing to sneeze at here. Getting that early 2 defense and 2 attack power out of the way. And wow, both of our runners immediately head south. And it looks like Tantagel is right in the bottom corner of Zone 0. Betastrep kicking things off with probably one of the fastest CODs you'll ever see outside of a Chaos Seed.
Yep, that might be a record. And immediately finding a town to the north. Let's see what we...
Meanwhile, up2ng taking advantage of that strength. Gonna go ahead and get a quick level here. We're gonna get 1, 1, and 2 more 1s, making a double-digit 11 to get a little bit more health. And up2ng gonna go ahead and try to secure some early experience here, but watch out, betastrep, right before entering this town, is gonna take down a magic jockey, gonna get level 2 himself, and now up2ng gonna contemplate trying to make it towards that town, maybe try to find another enemy. No, gonna find a ghost.
And betastrep makes it to Hawksness. Not the town they wanted to see just yet.
A repeat of the seed I just played a couple hours ago. First town we find is going to be Hawksness, and betastrep will decline to make that early check on what the spike tile monster is, knowing that there is, if you do the math, carry the 1, approximately a 0% chance of killing whatever's on the spike tile.
I'd say that's about right.
Alrighty, and the levels are coming fast and furious here. What with that increased strength, we're going to have 4, 16, 16, 17. Oh my goodness, what an insane level 3 here for betastrep. They're going to have no problems. In fact, could just consider heading right back down to that southern zone now where those trees are. Could probably start, betastrep got taken out by a wolf, but I think he's got to be the favorite to take one out now if he wants to head back in that direction. But going to go ahead and check out this cave first.
Although, right by Hawksness is probably the same zone as the one south of Tantagel, so seems to be not Zone 0.
It definitely does seem to be the case, and it looks like based on the movements from betastrep that he had found Swamp South. It looked like he was able to go north and right, but not down. So it looks like he's found Swamp Cave South, declined to head on through, gonna get level 4, 12, 6, and 8. No power, but still... those auxiliary stats continue to grow at an alarming rate here. It is a little unfortunate that they do not have any spells yet, but once they get one, they're going to have plenty of MP to work with there.
Yeah, it's always great having 37 magic points and nothing to use it on.
Yeah, 37 magic points, and yeah, nothing to use it on. Very unfortunate, but yeah, as noted in chat from Lorgon, already at 44 agility, that's going to make them a favorite to run from pretty much everything through Blue Dragon. Pretty much anything that is not a high-tier Charlock monster, they will be a favorite to run from. So again, looking here, betastrep, oh no, gets away from the Wyvern and is going to get blocked by the Armored Knight, going to get denied on this town, but he is going to pick up some information here. The Armored Knight leading off with that baby dragon fire. Going to make him just a little bit less threatening. Obviously, still going to take him out here in the early goings, but knowing that that's a thing now, betastrep's got to be sighing a little bit of relief here. If that's the only skill they have, that's an AK-47 that you definitely would like to see.
Yep. But as we know, it's if they have one special ability, generally they have another, so we're yet to see what that is.
Yeah, if that's going to be the sleep spell that's going to be hiding behind that baby flame breath, we're going to get the special appearance of what I believe Lorgon coined as the Diet Wombo. But so far, we have only seen the Baby Dragon Lord with, wow, Dragon Lord 2 fire coming out of the Droll. Going to burn Betastrep to a crisp and send him back to start once again.
Yep, speaking of Wombo, the Droll put a nice Wombo on Betastrep there.
Interesting that both players are kind of choosing to just head up towards this zone here. I don't, McGrew, you would know better than I do exactly how these zones work. I know that the zones directly north, south, east, and west of Zone 0 can only go up to Wolf, but I don't think they clone each other, do they?
Yeah, the zone the Tangel is in is Zone 0. The zone to the south and the north are both Zone 2, and east and west is Zone 1.
So those wolves and warlocks that they saw just south of Tangel in the forest, they're going to see up here in the desert?
Yeah, they would also be to the north.
Gotcha. All right. So Betastrep does find the town of Breckenridge to the east, and is going to go ahead and looks like he bought some herbs, maybe a couple of torches, and now he's going to take the rest of his 2 gold and not going to buy anything in the weapons and armor shop, but going to see that hand axe, going to see a broadsword, going to see a flame sword, all kinds of delicious weaponry available there. Not much in the way of armor, though. But definitely going to want to take note of that for later, as he's going to run into a Spectre, declines to fight it. I have to admit, I'm a little surprised.
Yeah, at this point, with 24 strength, you could probably take down a Spectre, but maybe feeling like it wasn't.
Well, now that I look at it, at least according to the Woodist.net battle simulator, it is still 0 to 1 damage given against the Spectre. So, good choice made there by Betastrep. Perhaps when he gets a weapon, he'll be able to take on a Spectre, but for now, absolutely out of the picture.
Well, he has found coal. I didn't see if he checked the search spot.
I did not see that either. Oh, Betastrep found... Okay, so that's coal right there, I see. And yep, there's up2ng finding those wolves, but declining to fight them. Again, here he's already on level 6. And they've got heal and heal more. I'm a little bit behind the action here, as clearly up2ng has found a zone that he really likes. Already up to 37 strength, and is just going to start dishing out pain with these massive fists, as the Warlock has really no choice here but to take that punishment and cough up 28 experience. And Betastrep going to go down to another AK-47, this time just choosing to bury that automatic axe into Togg's poor skull, and sending him back once again, as again the deaths are coming about once a minute here, getting close to that 1 per minute average. Now going back down into that forest section, not knowing exactly how the zones would work, that would probably be my choice as well. Going to try to pick up a little bit more experience here. But right now, up2ng's got a pretty good lead. Betastrep does know where Cole is, but that is his only advantage thus far.
Yeah, and as we see on the tracker, Betastrep has Erdrick's armor, so that must have been what was in the coal.
Gotcha. Yeah, so that's going to be a big advantage. We're going to check here. Yes, he does have the armor equipped, is not taking any damage from those poison tiles, is going to be mitigating that fire damage from those AK-47s, giving him potentially a couple of more chances to run than he might otherwise have. And yeah, Lorgon noting in chat, up2ng loves this patient approach. I too am a fan of picking up some of the early levels here, taking advantage of that big strength. And again, those wolves and warlocks just kind of hanging out in the zones north and south of Tangel. It's just really juicy when you're so close to, level 6, level 7. Hurtmore can be right around the corner. You really just want to keep going for it. And now up2ng's going to head west. I did not see exactly where Cole was, so I'm not sure if he's heading in the correct direction or not. I think he wanted to go northeast to find that, but could potentially find a different town in this direction. I'm just going to have to wait and find out.
Yeah, I believe Cole was to the northeast of Tangel Castle.
Doing a little bit of that kind of suicide last-ditch exploration, as he is going to run into a green dragon. Should be the favorite to run, but no. Gets blocked and sent home. That will be the 3rd death for up2ng, as you can see. by our marvelous COD tracker in the upper right and upper left corner of the name portion, respectively, for each of our runners. And again, for those of you counting at home, that was a little bit of bad luck on up2ng's part, as currently his run success rate from a Great Dragon should be about 60%. So yes, he was on his last legs there. No magic points, you know, single-digit HP, but a little unfortunate they decided to take that death there, and is going to just go ahead and go back to the grind, looking for, I believe, is it 650 to get the next level? I can't remember exactly what the next target is.
Oh, see, level 6 is 337. That's the next one that betastrep will reach, and then 600 will be level... Actually, maybe I'm reading that wrong. Yeah, level 7. And level 8 is at 600. Level 7 is at 337.
Gotcha. And up2ng now, yeah, getting to level 7, still hold on to that experience lead. Does pick up the return spell, which is going to be useful if they ever need to head back to the castle in a hurry. And yeah, betastrep going up to level 6, and so, you know, the level difference might not look that big, but right now, a little more than twice the experience here for up2ng is, again, betastrep favoring the early exploration and up2ng favoring the early experience grind. Not too many more wolves between him and level 7.
No, it's not. And both players electing to grind for a little while, even though they do have heal and heal more now. They got that with level 5.
They did get that with level 5, and I don't, you know, one of the interesting things here, betastrep already having the armor, I have to wonder if maybe he's thinking about trying to get just one more level and seeing what the stats are. Maybe if Hurt More comes out, already having Heal More, if you get Hurt More, you can just pop right into Hawk's Nest and see what's there and have a pretty good chance of taking it down, unless it's, you know, a Stone Man Golem or a Red Dragon. The combination of Heal More and Hurt More is probably going to get you that kill. And I wonder if up2ng is thinking the same thing. Obviously, he doesn't have the armor himself. He has not yet seen Cole. But, you know, they both got to be thinking it's so easy to just sit here and try to get up to, you know, 337 for betastrep, 600 for up2ng. And again, if Hurt More is right around the corner, then most likely so is the ability to check that search spot.
That is true, but sometimes you want to watch how much you grind around the castle and don't do any exploration, because that could get you behind. Sometimes these rocket seeds, you'll have the stats at level 12, 13, and suddenly you realize you're ready to fight Dragonlord, but you don't have anything to get.
Exactly, yes, that is the risk-reward of those two particular strategies. I will also say, in betastrep's case, interesting, he did run into, I mean, he's already seen 2 AK-47s. One right in front of Breckenary to the east, and I think he encountered one kind of to the west, wherever the edge of this zone they're currently grinding in is. So he could also be looking just for some slightly better stats, or again, that Hurt More spell to kind of take out, I think he saw like a Magic Wyvern, Green Dragon, all sorts of potentially Hurt More susceptible monsters, but ones that they can't really punch to death with their fists right now. Could be considering that as well in this decision making. So again, I imagine up2ng is going to go to level 8 here, see what it gives, and at that point then choose to move on and explore. I think at that point, with that Heal More in the back pocket, with all the HP and MP and agility that they have, I think going through the Swamp Cave would almost be an attractive option at that point.
Yeah, that could be. See what's on the other side. And you see both players level 7 now, so they've evened out a little bit as far as experience goes.
See the improv, it is, there's a cave just to the left of where both players are, and it is Swamp South. So yeah, if they do get that outside spell at level 8, as we do see up2ng getting level 8 here, going to get 1 power, 19 response speed, holy cow, 31 magic, also holy cow, and 6 HP, and there it is, folks, the Hurt More spell. up2ng's early grind pays off. 83 MP, 16 Hurt Mores to sling around. you know, even if it's a stone man here in Hawk's Nest, they got a good chance of taking that thing out.
That's true. Maybe worth taking a peek to see what's there.
Meanwhile, up2ng just moving just a little bit outside that zone. Gonna go ahead and discover some Axe Knights in this desert and gonna take immediate advantage of that hurt more. And wow, Droll Magi's here too. Betastrep in the same zone, punching things with his fists. But look at up2ng, his early grind paying off. Got that hurt more spell and more Axe Knights. You know, that's up2ng's like, yes, this is exactly what I wanted, and that experience gap is only going to grow. Already on level 9, 2 power, 2 response speed, 4 HP, 7 MP, and it looks like he got outside and sleep. Maybe Radiant? I'm not sure exactly which of those spells. I think they just got all 3 of those spells on that level. But that's going to let them just immediately pop over to the other side of the Swamp Cave if they want to. And now I'm kind of wondering if up2ng has seen Breckenary, because I think if he has, you'd want to go over there immediately and get all your resources back, but it looks like he's just going to make the suicide play to get to the Spike Tile, not even going to make it there. Very unfortunate, as Betastrep, knowing where Breckenary is going to go ahead and pick himself up that hand axe, gaining a lead in the attack power department.
And that death will cost him half his gold, so he no longer has much gold to buy anything, but doesn't really need it at the moment. All he needs is that hurt more spell to take out whatever's on that spike tile.
Exactly, so it looks like he is diligently making his way back in that direction. Meanwhile, Betastrep making quick, you know, wasting no time and bloodying his hand axe here. Going to go ahead and take out this Wraith for 42 experience points, and now he can really start to explore on the map with a little bit more confidence, having 60 attack power to start punching things with. Yeah, JJ Schmidt already calling the potential sub-hour here. There is definite potential there. You know, as soon as up2ng finds coal, which I don't think is too far away, you know, as soon as he finds that, he definitely has the option of, if the token is here and he can grab that, that's going to be the 2 search spots out of the way, 2 required items out of the way, and yeah, we could be making short work of this seed.
Yeah, it's going very quickly so far, not even 20 minutes in, and already one runner level 9.
Oh man, I'm not sure exactly what happened there to Beta. Looks like Gorgon's talking about he had a little bit of bad luck there, running into all the armored knights, unfortunately. As looks like up2ng got a level.
However, this magician should put him up to level 8. But no, not quite. One more enemy will put him to level 8, which will get him hurt more. So hopefully he will start rocketing off as up2ng has.
Yep, there is the magic level 8 for him, as up2ng confirms it is a golem on the spike tile. Did choose to take a couple of swings just to see if it had any skills. It looked like all it did was punch him in the face, and he went ahead and ran away from it. Probably about an 80% chance there with his 73 agility. And looks like now there's green dragons here. I think we've seen maybe some Droll Magi and Wraith Knights and all kinds of tasty monsters here. Tasty targets for that hurt more spell, as up2ng now has triple the experience of his opponent, and it looks like he is going to go ahead and take the intentional death, still unaware of the fact that an inn is actually just a screen away. A little bit unfortunate that he's not able to hold on to this gold, that he has been building up over time. Honestly, I have to say I am a little surprised that he would choose not to just check a little bit to the east. I know he's gone west across that bridge, but if you just go a screen to the east, you would see that Breckenary. He'd be able to buy a few things, spend some of that gold, but alas, Is just going to go ahead, hit the return stall, move south. I don't think there's anything here. Nope, very brief bit of exploration. They're probably going to head northeast here and hopefully find Breckenary and Cole shortly.
Yeah, and that is where that lack of exploration can bite you if you aren't aware of what towns are nearby.
Exactly. Oh, is it going to do it? Is it going to do it? Yes! The seed is validated for betastrep. He sees the desert Sparkover Bridge, and he does go down and do his due diligence. He does search the tile. So we do have at least one validated race here on your screen for betastrep.
Yeah, and up2ng just went through the swamp cave here, so we'll see if he finds anything on the other side. So unfortunately for him, he is going to miss Breckenary and Cole for the moment, which Cole obviously being the big thing to find with the armor, laying at the search.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate. This, Lord Garda pointed out before, the HP is, there's a really nice HP total, which allows him to absorb those hits from the Armored Knights. He's got Hurt more, he's got Heal more, so, you know, there's a lot of situations in which not having Erdrick's armor would be a huge setback, but honestly, given the ridiculous stats and spells, and again, up2ng's decision to do that grind early, you know, obviously you want him to go find, you know, Cole and get that armor, you know, sooner rather than later, because the longer he waits to head in that direction, you know, the worse it's kind of going to get for him. But so far, still holding on to a pretty solid experience lead.
Yeah, he gained a pretty big lead when he got hurt more ahead of Beta. But without the armor, we'll see if he can hold on to it. It means he can't explore quite as far without using up more resources, so we'll see how that goes.
Exactly. Once betastrep can get to the point where up2ng is in terms of his experience, then he's going to have a much easier go of it here as up2ng hits level 11, 3, 1, 8, and 8, I believe, 105 MP already. That is bonkers, and we do find the tablet cave. And with the outside spell, it's going to be about a 30-second check here. up2ng going to go ahead and light up this cave with the Radiant spell. Going to go ahead and zigzag his way through the maziest dungeon in all of the 6 dungeons here. And just going to go ahead and get some bonus money out of that particular cave.
I want to see who wants to put money that the Hawksness spot as the fairy flute with the golem.
Yeah, I would definitely put some money on that. Maybe a few SRL points as well. Even better if that golem was holding on to some Dragon Lord 2 Breath or even a Wombo combo.
Naturally.
And continuing to explore the second continent is up2ng. Resources dwindling, unfortunately, as betastrep finds the linked Sparkover Bridge, crossing over that one river and seeing basically nothing worth checking out over there. And yeah, just continuing to explore the overworld here. Not sure exactly what direction he went, but not finding a whole lot of things here. As it looks like up2ng has found the southern coast on our opposite continent here. Does find a Sparkover Bridge. Is he going to go ahead and search it? Let's see. He's going to go ahead and hurt more this Wraith. Obviously wanting to save some time, save some frames here, is going to go ahead and decline to validate this race by checking out that Sparkover Bridge, and also going to go ahead and decline fighting the Wraith. A little surprised about that one.
Well, I believe he's out of MP, so he doesn't have any more hurt mores to throw at it. And it doesn't matter anyway, because the Droll Magi sends him back home where he will replenish. Does find the big C Sharlock though, so he knows where that is now. Yes, Lorgon. Not only does the wall around it look like a big C, but it's called Charlock, which starts with the C, so it's perfect.
And it looks like Betastrep has found the jerk. And again, I'm not sure exactly what direction he went to find that, but I'm assuming he is still on the original continent. So pretty important find for Betastrep, but don't look now. Up2ng, I believe, again, on the opposite continent, choosing to do that side of exploration, has found a town, and there's a cave next to it, and these could be two very big finds here. Let's go ahead and see what this cave is. It's going to be the Shrine Cave, and so now, two separate pieces of required information between these two runners. Up2ng knowing where the Shrine Cave is, where he's eventually going to turn in the Silver Heart for the Staff of Rain. And has he already been inside that town? I'm a little surprised he's declining to go in. I'm not sure what town that is.
I don't believe he has. And as for Betastrep, he is to the southwest of Tanagel Castle, is the area he's explored.
Rimmildar! Big find for Up2ng. So both runners, this is a very interesting position because both runners have information that the other runner needs. Up2ng, he's going to have keys. He knows where Rimmildar is. He knows where to get back here in case he needs more keys. He knows where the Shrine Cave is, so he's going to be coming back this direction eventually anyway. He's going to go ahead and be able to buy all the keys he wants, perhaps check the weapon shop on the way out, and of course check that double-locked chest in the inn, which could potentially have a required or otherwise beneficial item within it. Let's go ahead and see. He's going to unlock door number 1. He's going to unlock door number 2, and he is going to find a little bit of bonus gold.
Well, at least he got his money back.
And then some. All right, he could pick up a broadsword here, still with no weapon. And going to go ahead. Yep, he's going to have enough for a large shield. He's going to have enough for half-plate armor. And that, opting to buy the chainmail, interesting. Looks like he might be holding on to money for a potential hand axe later. And he did explore a little bit southwest, didn't see a whole lot before going back into Rimmildar. Opts to hit the return spell immediately. Going to go ahead and do his checks in Charlock. And Betastrep, according to chat, was on the cusp of finding Rimmildar himself and died. And is going to have to head back in that direction again. As we're going to find that, yes, keys are required. That was the Stones of Sunlight in the treasury. Up2ng, going to make a very heads-up play here. He has opened 4 chests in the treasury. Going to go ahead and pop into the throne room, not to save, but just to load those 3 extra chests in memory. There is a good chance we have not seen the grave. We have not seen the mountain cave. So there's actually a really decent chance that there's a gold grind available in this basement. Very heads-up play from Up2ng. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, that is true, and I believe Rimmildar did have the flame sword and magic armor, so it's probably exactly where he'll...
Yeah, no silver shield yet as far as I have seen, so, you know, he may want a gold grind for that if he can do it. Gonna go ahead and find a torch. Gonna go ahead and find another torch, which looks like with some fairy water. And it looks like he's gonna... No, he wasn't sure if it was fairy water or not. Just grabbed another one to check. Finds a bamboo pole, which is a pair of wings. So no gold here on the top 4. Does he choose to dive? No. Gonna go ahead and pop that outside spell. Gonna go ahead and take... We were having a little debate about this. I'm definitely going to ask him about this later. We had a very long discussion, Up2ng and I did, I believe, with Smashy and Zarnax as well, post one of the last tournament matches that we casted together. I have been taking the strategy personally of skipping diving the grave early and instead opting to go to the mountain cave. But no, it looks like Up2ng just decided he didn't want to... Maybe he wanted to get some HP back, or I'm not sure exactly what he did there besides cast outside and then just head right back down. Curious bit of decision making there.
I believe he's setting up a gold grind. He wanted a gold grind out of that, and since he didn't get any gold in those 3 chests, he's going to come down here, open those top 3 chests, outside back out, pop in the throne room, and then go to the treasury to grind gold, I believe.
Oh, was there gold in one of those boxes? I guess I missed that. Okay, that's very heads-up play if that's the case.
Yeah, there was gold in one of the chests, so I'm pretty sure that's what he's going to...
All Alrighty, well, a very smart play there. Something that I would have not necessarily thought about is on betastrep's screen. He has made it to Rimuldar, and I imagine he's already checked the Shrine Cave. Gonna know the location of that. Gonna find out that there is a Flame Sword, and Magic Armor here immediately buys the large shield. And gonna go ahead.
Up2ng is opting to dive, so I guess he wanted to make sure he had that gold grind available if he doesn't make it to the bottom.
Yeah, without Erdrick's sword, he is deciding to just go ahead and make this grind. Going to go ahead and also grind down this Wraith with his bare hands. Taking a little bit of extra time to do that there. I can see why he opted not to fight the Wraith from before. Not trusting too much in that 51 attack power and fists alone.
Well, betastrep has returned with keys, and he picks up his Stones of Sun.
Yep, and interestingly enough, he's going to pick up his Stones of Sunlight. Go ahead and pop right back out. He saw that there was gold there in the treasury, and he knows, as well as up2ng does, as well as we kind of did up here in the caster's booth. There is a good chance. Oh, there was gold there in the 4th chest, so there would have been a gold grind available if up2ng continued his first dive. Of course, he couldn't have known that at the time. Yeah, betastrep going to go ahead and reset Tantagel Castle so that he can grab at least those top 3 chests and guarantee himself a gold grind out of that treasury. Now up2ng just a little bit ahead geographically as he goes ahead and tries to finish this dive here. And gonna see a vanilla monster here on the basement 4, running away, opting not to even bother fighting that metal scorpion. Yeah, exactly. Again, and now, up2ng was at a point where he found keys in Shrine Cave. He had information that betastrep did not, but betastrep, in his diligence and persistence in his exploration, he now has the information that up2ng had over him. So now up2ng, again, only maintains the experience lead, and despite the equipment advantage on betastrep's side, he still maintains about a double experience lead over betastrep. Gonna go ahead and get level 12 here. 8 power, 4 speed, 5 hit points, 6 MP, no spell, and the chest is a torch.
Wah, wah, wah. Yeah, so nothing down there. Will be interesting to see if betastrep decides to dive or not.
Betastrep going to go ahead and pick up level 10 here, which is pretty measly level, unfortunately. But, yeah, going to go ahead and continue diving. Probably going to have no problem. I did not see any nasty monsters of any sort as up2ng dove. So, again, most likely going to... Oh, excellent dodge! The Kaisha negate against the Drakima. Going to require another swing of that axe. Just a little bit more of that hashtag beta luck as up2ng has started his gold grinds, and I'm curious if he's going to go all the way up to whatever the total is, 37,000 or whatever you need to get all 3 of the gold grind items. He does know where, of course, the Flame Sword and Magic Armor are. Does not yet know where the Silver Shield is, but it wouldn't be a bad idea to go all the way. Because, honestly, your likelihood of just dying at this point with these stats and this MP and the spells they have, pretty low.
Now, there were Droll Magis down in the bottom of the grave, and that they have the Dragonlord breath, so that is a potential problem, but it should be okay as long as they keep their HP. Well, betastrep is, anyway.
Yeah, bringing up that point, that's actually interesting. One thing I definitely do not know about the kind of behind-the-scenes number crunching is how the back attack formula works. I figure Droll Magi's right now have a very low percentage to back attack, but of course if they did, would have a potential to, at least give betastrep a good scare, if not take him out altogether if he was caught not healing up.
Yeah, I believe it's based on agility. I don't know the exact formula, but It is definitely based on your agility versus the monsters.
Alrighty, and only choosing to get enough to pick up the flame sword and magic armor. So going to go ahead and buy pretty much the best weapons and armor that money can buy, with that large shield being the second best shield that you're going to see. And so now up2ng, other than Erdrick's armor, is, I would say the flame sword gives him a slight edge in that, since he has the heal more spell, sitting at 89 attack power, and with, you know, the oodles and oodles of MP, could pretty much fight anything he wants to on the map at this point. Could even consider going back to Hawksmith at some point and try to take out that golem there. But hey, there's another cave that we haven't seen yet, and that's going to be bonus cave.
You see Betastrep. I did notice he walked out of the castle before he dove the grave, so he is also setting up a gold grind. Took a death there, although he didn't need to. He could have just cast outside and walked back over to his treasury, but may not be aware.
I imagine he was kind of taking a moment of opportunity there, knowing that, as you mentioned before, the Droll Magi's did have that DL2 breath and would be able to make short work of him there. I didn't see if he was pacing back and forth, or if he just happened to run into a Droll Magi and then say, well, I guess this is my ticket out of here. But either way, Gold Grind is active, and Betastrep is now printing money. And so once again, the decision will be, do you go all the way to 33,000 or whatever, or do you stop and know, actually already having that Erdrick's armor, Betastrep is going to stop. I didn't see exactly where, but I do imagine he's got more than enough money for that flame sword. Yes, at 10,000 gold, he will be able to buy that flame sword, as up2ng finds Garenham. I believe, what do we have left to find? Does it have to be the Jerk? No, Jerk or Mountain Cave in the back of this town here.
Yep, and there's also 3 chests. We still haven't found the harp or the token.
Or the sword.
That's true, or the sword.
So up2ng could be regretting his flame sword purchase momentarily here, as we are going to be looking for 3 or even as many as 8 chests behind this locked door here. Let's go ahead and see what those chests are.
Oh yeah, Mr. Spokes pointing out, we did find the Jerk Cave. I believe Betastrep found it, did he? It was southwest of Tanagil.
You are correct. That's right. The Jerk has already been found. That guarantees the Mountain Cave back here. They are looking for potentially the token and the death necklace at this point. And especially with the big stick in up2ng's possession. And he doesn't know that, he hasn't found the Jerk yet, I don't believe, doesn't know that this is required to be the Mountain Cave, but we knew up here in the Caster's booth once it was confirmed by chat. So yeah, still looking for potentially that token if it's not in Hawksnest or on the map. Looking for that death necklace here could come in handy, as the HP total's not super great right now. But strength is a little bit low, and there's definitely room for the stats to grow from here. And a couple of knights here on the top floor of the Mountain Cave are going to be very, very tasty for up2ng. He's just going to burn those down immediately with the Hurtmores, and going to go ahead and roll some coin flips against the Blue Dragon, who responds with a Hurtmore of his own.
Well, Betastrep has also found Garenham. It's right there on his screen, at least, so he'll be finding the Mountain Cave as well.
Both players going to be almost immediately regretting that they took the chance to do those gold grinds. up2ng getting a little bit more benefit out of the magic armor. Going to help him out here until he finally heads northeast of Tanagil Castle and finds the town of Cole. But so far, still in the battle of anything you can do, I can do better versus this Blue Dragon.
Yeah, and throwing a stop spell on that Blue Dragon, that will... Oh, luckily, because he has heal.
Teal pointing out that Hurtmore strats, Hurtmore, by the way, it's slightly better than 50% to land a Hurtmore, and you do need to land 2 of them unless the Blue Dragon spawns with very low hit points. And yeah, right now, up2ng doing 14 to 29. Might not be thinking about the upgraded weapon he's got in his back pocket just yet. Yeah, he's doing 14 to 29 to the blue dragon, so could kill one in as few as 3 hits, but instead opting to do some different strats. Looked like he may have taken out the last one with the sword. And yes, there is the silver harp. That was the other thing they needed to find. And now only missing the token for up2ng as he chooses to trade the dragon's scale. And go ahead and leave it here for a future adventurer to find in a future seed. I'll leave that there. It's going to plant that seed, going to go ahead and grow into a chest eventually for a future race.
And I don't know, we don't know if the token is on the overworld or in a search spot or in a chest yet, do we? Don't know how many cursed belts we've seen.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think up to this point that we've seen any. So it kind of remains to be seen here what those search spots are going to entail. I think at this point, have we seen everything outside of Sharlock? So there could be belts in Sharlock. And Tila is saying we have seen 1 belt so far.
Yeah, there was 1 belt in Garenham, but I don't know if we've seen the other yet.
And the last chest is empty. Not sure if that was an herb or a key. It doesn't really matter in the long run. up2ng has completed his exploration, and so now, kind of, you know, between the 2 runners, we are in what you might call no mode, with one exception. I don't believe either runner... No, I'm sorry. I think betastrep did see Sharlock. I do remember that chat, or that kind of discussion about the C-shape earlier. So maybe betastrep has seen Sharlock, in which case, between the 2 runners, we would potentially be in no mode. That's right. No one's seen Cantlin. Those coordinates... You know, no one's seen Cantlin. No one has searched the Hawk's Nest spot yet. Token could still be there or out on the map. Thank you, chat, for pointing that out.
Yeah, and I believe betastrep did get the silver harp, I assume.
I would imagine he did. He was wandering around in the in the mountain cave, and I would imagine he did his due diligence and would definitely have the harp now. A little bit of divergence in the paths here. up2ng having a little bit more exploration done on this second continent. I believe he's already been southwest. So betastrep's going to head that way, and I don't think he's going to find much in that direction. up2ng instead choosing to head northwest and see if he can find anything here. Still looking for that jerk. There's Sharlock. And okay, betastrep going to find Sharlock on the opposite side of that swamp cave.
Yep, so betastrep knows now where Sharlock is. He knows where the jerk is. He just needs to find the token. Oh, and he also needs to find the staff cave, which I don't know if we've seen that yet or not.
Staff cave was right next to Rimbeldar's, and you have to, and it's kind of, you see the cave before you see Rimbildar. So I know up2ng went into the cave first, and I imagine betastrep did as well. So yeah, they know where that, they should know where that is. Nitsky 1 has arrived, so guaranteeing us some bad luck for the runners and another hour of potential race to continue. And we have 2 stats in the green, 1 stat in the orange. That defense power stat could use a little bit of bolstering here, and it's all that bolstering is going to pretty much come from the agility gains, as no one's going to be getting a silver shield at this point. So, going to want to hope for a little bit more agility here. Do we have a town here on betastrep's side? Yes.
Yeah, betastrep just found a town that should be Cantlin, I believe. I believe that's the only town we haven't seen. And that's the first time we've seen in a swamp.
Exactly, yeah. Hawksness and yep, Breckenary found first. And yep, we're going to go ahead and get Cantlin here. And it looks like Beta is going to beeline right for the old wizard, who has imprisoned himself behind some glass tiles, but with the Erdrick's armor already in hand, they're not going to matter at all. 61 leagues to the south and 6 leagues to the east. I'm going to go ahead and guess that's on the southern continent, and I'm not sure if you can really see the second continent from the north continent. If the token's out there, we may have a princess rescue on our hands.
Yeah, I believe that's going to be impossible to count. I don't believe there is any way to see the second continent from the first, so Princess Rescue coming up.
I would imagine, yeah, as Lorgon's noting, I think Hawks is going to be first, followed by, if it's the Fairy Flute, as we were joking about earlier, immediately going to be followed, you know, the Swamp Cave's right there. We don't know what's on the Swamp Cave Spike Tile yet, but Betastrep having the two pieces of Erdrick's gear as well as the large shield. You know, there's pretty much nothing that can threaten him right now in terms of Spike Tile monsters. So yeah, again, if we do get the kind of Constellation Fairy Flute on the Spike Tile, it's going to be a pretty quick trip right over to Swamp Cave to get the Dwaylen positioning system. And then going to go ahead and find those coordinates.
Yep, up2ng getting the coordinates and immediately death warping back to the cat.
Of note here that up2ng does maintain an experience lead over Betastrep as he has for most of the race, but that lead being cut ever so, you know, little by little. Betastrep is chopping into that lead about 1,200 now, where it was at one point 1,500. And both runners have the coordinates in hand. They know that the best thing to do right now is to go ahead and check that Hawksness tile. Betastrep with a little bit of a lead there. Going to go ahead and take out this golem, which looks like all it was doing is punching him in the face. And there it is.
Found the token. Yeah, so he has found the token. No Princess Rescue needed. Unfortunately, we won't get to see the princess riding the dog.
Nope, there will be no doggy rides today, as the princess is going to languish in her prison within the Swamp Cave for all eternity tonight. And now Betastrep going to go ahead and do a little bit of a mini grind here on this golem. I'm a little bit surprised he's choosing to do this here instead of check to see what the Swamp Cave tile is.
Yeah, it seems like a little bit of a strange choice. The golem not usually a good grind enemy, especially. I mean, even if you have the Fairy Flute, it can be an easy grind, but a long grind.
Yeah, exactly. Their defense is not terribly high because obviously well, I don't know about obviously, but the devs wanted you to be able to run from it, and they wanted to just kind of load it up with hit points as opposed to loading up with defense power, making it hard to run. How much HP do they have in Randomizer? It's definitely more than the 53 to 70 they have in Vanilla.
Yeah, let me check that. I'm not 100% sure. They have 153 hit points in the Randomizer.
Okay, so that sounds pretty close to the Vanilla Stoneman HP.
Yeah, Stoneman is 135 in Randomizer. I don't recall what it is in Vanilla.
Looks like here, based on the Woodus.net battle simulator, they can spawn with 121 to 160 hit points. And the golem is basically an upgraded version of that. He punches harder, and with the HP there is going to be it's going to be hard to take down. Very disincentivizing here. As Betastrep's going to head into the Swamp Cave, going to head outside, probably going to pop back in, cast that Radiant Spell, and check to see what the Spike Tile is. Looks like up2ng is doing the same thing. And a quick question in chat, 31, is this long or short final dungeon? So this is standard tournament flags, which is a vanilla final dungeon. The only special flag that these players opted to use outside of tournament standard is the brand new Scared Metal Slimes flag, which for anyone unfamiliar, I'll run it over once again. If you have 20 strength or less, Metal Slimes, which typically run away at the first sign of trouble, will actually never run away from you. And so if they don't have a skill that kills you immediately, you're basically guaranteed to kill the Metal Slime eventually. And these two players opting to turn on a flag that makes it so that they will run away, which can mitigate the potential of a level 1 Metal Slime kill, giving that huge early advantage, but not really making a difference. Now, this race has, as far as I can tell, been pretty fair, with one exception being that hashtag beta luck so far.
Yeah, the Scarab Metal Slimes didn't really come into play. They started with 19 strength, and by level 2 they were above 20, so didn't really make any difference in this race. And I don't know if we've even seen any Metal Slimes.
Chat noting that 14 could be go mode, but I'm not so sure about that. I mean, HP is close to the kind of 97 threshold that you might want. But I mean, even with the massive amounts of MP that up2ng has, 106, you know, swinging for, what is that, 1 to 3? Not quite going to cut it. Going to need quite a bit more strength here as up2ng going to go ahead and rescue this princess. Looks like he may want to try to grab that fairy flute, just in case he wants to either grind on golems or maybe just watch out for them in Charlotte.
Yeah, he did get the token yet, or did he go to Hawksness yet? Maybe he's getting the fairy flute. Well, he's going to check the overworld spot, I guess, and he'll get the fairy flute, and then I guess use that on the golem.
I saw him fight the golem. I would imagine he... oh, that's right! Smashy pointing out that up2ng still doesn't have the armor because he never found coal. He still has not gone just to the northeast. We have Breckenary, northeast, so that is Cole where the armor is. That's right. up2ng not having the armor, thinks it might be on the map. So yes, he does have the token, but unfortunately not knowing where that armor is, thinks it might potentially be on that second continent, and he's going to be very disappointed when he finds his flute, and hopefully remembers that he still has not been northeast of Tantagel.
Oh yeah, see, I forgot he didn't have the armor yet, so yep, that would be exactly why.
46 north, 59 west. Going to need to head quite a bit east. Sorry, McGrew, go ahead.
So meanwhile, betastrep has everything he needs now. He is basically in grind and go mode. And he needs, with this MP, he needs still another 23, probably 22 strength in order to take on Dragon Lord, and obviously more hit points, at least about 9 more hit points.
Oh, wow, and I believe our tracker here has gone ahead and flashed those stats for this particular blue dragon, and it's a nasty one. If you don't have Stop Spell, which betastrep does, I did not catch the Stop Spell resistance, but it's going to be pretty important to land as they're 75% heal more, 75% hurt more, a nasty combo indeed. Smashy noting 1 in 16 resist means once you land that Stop Spell, they are pretty much harmless, and so betastrep in grind to go mode, going to go ahead and just plow through blue dragons as he inches his way towards the go mode.
Yeah, this will be a much better grind than the golem. I mean, casting a Stop Spell on the blue dragon is going to hit almost every time and pretty much neuters them, so they won't be able to do anything. Weasel asking how we know the monster stats when they're flashed, because the tracker reads them from the ROM image. We generate a ROM and put that into the tracker, and it can read the data values.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Cole's directly north or northeast. I missed when betastrep found it, but yeah, it's really unfortunate that there's just one direction that up2ng needs to go, you know, sooner rather than later. But it looks like he's might be headed up to go turn in. He's turning the harp. He knows where that cave is over by Rimmildar. Lorgon asking if we've seen Red Wizard or Stone Man. We've seen Stone Man, but I don't think anyone's actually tried to fight it yet, so I don't know what skills they have. I believe Red Dragon and Wizard are MIA so far, as Smashy just noted.
Yeah, we haven't seen the Red Dragon yet, and Cole was mostly to the east and slightly north of Tangel Castle, so...
Alrighty, level 14 coming in for betastrep 1108, or maybe 1018. So pretty much no change for betastrep in terms of Sharlock readiness.
Although betastrep's quickly closing in on the experience gap, so he is almost the same amount of experience as up2ng. So we have a race. Well, meanwhile, up2ng convinced the coal must be on that second continent, I believe, and that could be a problem. Oh, I take that back. He's turning in the heart. Now, he has not seen the Jerk Cave yet, I don't believe, so he's not quite sure where to turn in to get the rainbow.
Yeah, exactly. Very unfortunate here in the exploration patterns of up2ng, just not having the information he needs. And so in very, very, very short order here, betastrep is going to overtake him in experience. And like Lorgan has mentioned in chat, it's unfortunate the way this is played out, but betastrep it's pretty much his race to lose at this point.
Yeah, up2 has seen Sharlock. He saw that pretty early on. Although I believe he is heading in the right direction to find the Jerk Cave at least, so he will have that momentarily. No, I don't believe he's seen Breckenary or coal yet.
Yeah, I have to say, if echoing Lord of the Sin sentiments here, if I were up2ng, you know, that moment that you finally head northeast and you see that the armor was there all along, that last little piece that you needed, that you spent so much time on the map trying to search for, grabbing the princess, you know, using that Gwalen positioning system to speed things up, still like several minutes here just kind of putzing around, not really making any progress. Once you find that armor, you got to know that you're behind. Yeah,
he surely will.
But fortunately for up2ng, you know, despite the fact that he is wandering around on the map, despite the fact that he is behind on information, he is still able to pick up experience here with that Hurtmore spell, with that Erdrick sword, and his other equipment here. And so, again, you know, eventually betastrep will overtake up2ng in experience, but it is still close yet. I would say if up2ng can just, you know, remember that he's not been northwest yet of Tantagel Castle, if he can remember that that's the direction he needs to go and get, you know, Sharlock access, get that grinded go mode, I would call this basically one failed dive. But of course, the longer up2ng takes to put the pieces together, the wider that gap is going to get.
Yep, and it also depends on how far we have to grind to get to the level when you face the Dragon Lord, because the longer it goes, the more betastrep is going to get. up2ng does reach level 15. So he gets 12 power, 28 hit points, 2 magic, and a spell. So that is somewhat bad news for up2ng, since betastrep will reach that level here shortly.
Yeah, and they haven't seen the death necklace, right? So that has to be in Sharlock?
No, I don't believe they have him. So it must be in Sharlock. Although
I imagine
not quite
that
enough hit points for that yet, but they're getting.
Yeah, good point. I was going to say maybe betastrep sees the next level and immediately goes and dives for it. He could even, You know, considering that they have approximately 1 billion magic points, could even decide to just dive for 18 and, you know, hope for a little bit of HP on the way down, maybe even an attack power boost to get to that point, and then just grab the Death Necklace and do the thing. Oh, there's a Red Dragon sighting for up2ng. Reds have stop spell. Lorgon declaring the race for betastrep already. We'll have to see here. Z-Man calling for level 19. All right, we're looking for 3 more MTI levels here.
Betastrep checking his stats and not quite ready, so he's going to continue fighting this blue dragon. It's pretty much a free.
Yeah, exactly. Pretty much a free fight from this point onwards. 82 defense power, not quite defense breaking, but also, you know, on the rare chance that the blue dragon does bite, not taking a whole lot of damage there. So I think he sat here for what, 3 levels already without having to go back and heal. So yeah,
something like that. Although he's almost out of MP, so he can fight about 5 more of these, and he's going to have to go back. So he may opt to dive Sharlock at that point.
All right, up2ng, hit the return spell. He is going east. He's going east. Let's see if he can figure out that where he's going to find coal. He's cheating towards the southern coast, and I believe that is Breckenary.
Yep,
and
so
probably and I believe just north of there is going to be coal. And he's at least in the right ballpark. He realizes this is the area that he's not explored yet. This is the area where coal's most likely to be. And there it is. There it is, folks. up2ng has found coal. He's going to grab the armor.
Yep, so he's got the armor. Meanwhile, betastrep going on a refill. We'll see if he heads for Sharlock or back to the swamp. Weasel asking if he's lost too much time. No, he is still... They're pretty even on experience now. And they both have all of the items.
Interesting choice here from up2ng. He is going to grind where he saw Axe Knights in the desert. And he wants to spam these with Hurt more. Unfortunately, he's not defense breaking them, but... I'm not sure if he's in the wrong zone or not. He's not getting the encounters. There is one Axe Knight, but that took forever to find. It's a smart idea, but I'm not sure it's the best one because it's only the one monster in this zone that he can even get into an encounter with.
Yep. Meanwhile, betastrep is now diving, so let's see. And he's diving Sharlock. He's going to grind that next level on the way. Now, he needs either about 12 hit points or probably another 7 strength, I believe, in order to take on the Dragon Lord. Make that about 8 strength, probably. 8 strength or 12 hit points on the next level. If he doesn't get that, then he's going to have to keep...
betastrep choosing to fight the Stone Man, and he's going to take it down with a Kaishin no Ichigeki for 115 points, reducing that Stone Man to mere pebbles as he makes his way through the first floor.
Oh, interesting. Betastrep, this must not be a final dive. He is burning Hurtmores, I believe.
Yeah, well, and he's got so much MP that, I mean... Yeah, maybe this is just an informational dive. I mean, betastrep, definitely no stranger to bad dives. Lorgon pointing out what I was going to say, that he definitely has enough MP to waste. And
yeah,
Stoneman with spell as well.
He doesn't have the strength to do any damage to the Dragon Lord right at the moment. Well, not much. What is it, 4 to 9, I believe, right now?
Oh, yeah, 4 to 9. Yeah, exactly.
So unless he gets a decent amount of strength on this next level, he's going to need all of that.
Yeah, very true. Could also, again, just be an informational dive. Betastrep's got to know at this point that This is looking to be a Death Necklace seed, barring some kind of 20 attack power boost on this next level. And again, if we did see 20 attack power, then he could probably just finish it out right here. But if it's like a 8 or 4, 8, 12, that kind of thing, is probably going to want to go out and get his resources back. While up2ng has made his way back to Rimbledar. Not sure what he's doing here aside from maybe trying to find these armored knights.
Not really sure either. I mean, Swamp Cave is right there. Maybe he's heading... Nope. Take that back. He's heading away from the Swamp Cave, so I'm not sure what he's...
Mr. Smokes, there is not a town near Charlock, and Charlock is actually quite... It's not super far, it's not super close. You gotta kind of go through the Swamp Cave. Okay, Lorgon pointing out that Rimbledar is not too far away. I thought Rimbledar was on the first continent.
No, Rimmeldar's on the
but I trust...
second continent. I believe Garenham is actually closer to the Charlock.
That's right, Rimbledar being north of the Swamp Cave. That's right, yeah, up2ng. Taking that Swamp Cave, going up to Rimbledar, getting all of his stuff back, looking like he's thinking about making that dive too. And look at this, folks. I missed the point where it happened. Betastrep has taken the experienced lead, but not pulling too far away. Again, while up2ng was kind of running around the map, he was getting experience while he was doing that, and he managed to keep up even as Betastrep was grinding those blue dragons. Now, as he makes his way down towards Charlock, kind of making a wrong turn there, realized he needs to go back around this little bit of coast to find it. Betastrep is going to kind of grow that lead, but folks, this is not over yet by any means. This is about as close as it gets, because remember, this level could be a nothing burger, which means Betastrep would have to exit, get his MP back, and return. up2ng would have to do the same thing. So it really comes down to how much experience can they get on this dive as they try to search for that Death Necklace and maybe even check that spike tile as well.
Yeah, at this point, the amount of MP that Betastrep has used, if he doesn't get about 15 strength on this level, then he's not going to have enough to fight the dragon. He is checking for the Death Necklace, though, and that would be about 10 strength if it gets enough hit points. However, if up2ng heads down and conserves his resources, gets the level, he might have enough.
No kidding. Yeah, let's pay close attention to this level once, what is it, 9750. By the time Betastrep makes it around to that spike tile monster Death Necklace, there it is. Betastrep doesn't need to check any of the 6 other chests in Charlock. Bottom right, saving all the frames. He's grabbed that Death Necklace. He's like, I don't need anything else out of any of these chests. Let's go find that spike tile. Let's get this level and let's get this over with. But again, pay attention to this level. Pay attention to, up2ng is fighting. He is fighting his way down. He's conserving his MP. If this level gives a lot of attack power, if it's just enough for up2ng but not enough for Betastrep, he has to leave. That gives the up2ng a chance to pull it out here. This is as close as it gets.
Yep, and this is where we'll see which differing strategy pays off.
Betastrep knows he doesn't need to take any more fights. He knows that this spike tile is going to do it here. It's an Axe Knight. He's going to take this thing out with his Erdrick's can opener in about 2 or 3 hits. And then he's going to be rewarded with level 16.
All right, let's see what he gets from level 16. Power 7. Oh, 6 hit points. 3 magic. So not enough hit points for the Death Necklace. Not enough power given the MP that he has. Although, if he had full MP, 135 MP, he would need probably a double attack, but he could take the Dragon Lord on if he had full resources.
Yeah, let's go ahead and crunch those numbers real quick. That's going to be 6 to 12 for a 9 average. And, you know, obviously, up2ng is not going to benefit from the MP game, but it was a measly 3 MP, not going to make much of a difference there. And looking at the stats right now, I think up2ng is sitting on, is that 17 heal mores for a potential of 19 attacks. If I'm doing my math correctly, it's about 170 average damage in what would be a marathon of a fight. But absolutely not out of the realm of possibility for up2ng, who still has all his heal mores and is almost at level 16. This is a nail biter.
Yep, it would be a close fight, but he's, the High Spirit's pointing out that 3 MP is an extra heal more. But even with 135, he should have it.
And Z-Man pointing out defense power, yes, at 82 defense power, the Dragon Lord can swing for 49, which means you're going to want at least 50 HP to make a safe swing, as up2ng gets the level with a Kaishin no Ichigeki, reducing that Armored Knight to nothing but scrap metal. Gonna pick up his level. He's gonna be happy to see that 7 strength. Might want to see a little bit more, but if he can do that, that quick math in his head, he's got to know that he's got a shot here. He knows he's got, you know, he's got a little bit of a gauntlet to run through here, as he doesn't know yet what's on these last few floors. I don't think I saw anything particularly dangerous when Betastrep went through here the first time. So up2ng, he's just got to run. And he could make it. And Tilo pointing out there's an argument to be made for DN here. I'm not sure about that.
No, I don't think so. Not with the 123 hit points. I mean, that would leave him, what, 93 or 94 hit points remaining? That's really not enough, not given how close this...
The 92 by my calculation. So, yeah, I don't think I would put it on. I think I would rather just have the 123 hit points and the potential for doubles.
Yep. Because it is a win. If you get one, maybe 2 double attacks, then you're going to win this. And with 117, or actually 123 hit points, you should get at least 1.
CD Improv asking if Beta get to the bottom, can he grind the Axe Knight? I mean, he could, but I don't think he's going to want to. I think they both know that at this point, it's basically a lock, as McGrew has pointed out. Basically just need, if they could, I honestly don't think they need to manufacture any doubles at all. I suppose, you know, bad rolls, like epically bad rolls, could force that double. But if my math is correct, they should, on average, be able to get past that 165 max HP. But obviously doubles would make it more comfortable.
Betastrep does have 1 extra heal more, given that he got that 3 MP and that he refilled. So Betastrep is in a better situation, but he's farther from the dragon.
Yeah, exactly. Is Betastrep? He's not still fighting things, is he? I haven't been paying super close attention. Doesn't look like he has been.
No, it looks like he's running from it.
So yeah, both runners. Heads up play here from up2ng. Gonna go ahead and pop a couple of heals before walking up to get that last bit of HP. He is going to be offered a chance to get half the world. He's going to say no. He's going to be called a fool. And folks, up2ng have been written off because of his unfortunate exploration patterns. And right now, he is the favorite to win going into this Dragon Lord 1 fight. With 125 attack power, doing only 29 damage, going to go ahead and use that herb. I don't know if he's swung twice already or not. Getting that stop spell, going to go ahead and swing again for 25. Really just kind of tickling Dragon Lord 1 right now in, again, what is going to be a marathon fight. And don't look now, right, literally nipping at up2ng's heels is Tov the dog. Gonna go ahead and take out this Axe Knight. Folks, this might come down to who gets the better rolls. up2ng starting Dragon Lord 2.
Yep, and he didn't get 2 attacks to start, so that's a little bit of a detriment to him. But
Did he get
back
attacked?
No, he didn't have. He only had about 80 MP, I believe. Or sorry, 80 hit points when he started the Dragon Lord 2.
It looked like
he did get back attacked.
Yeah, he got back attacked. Oh, and he's swinging for above average right now. 23 damage if my count is correct. 12 and 11 to start off, right there at that maximum range. And another double-digit swing, going to go up to, I believe, 33 damage. And Betastrep is going to start his Dragon Lord 2 fight. up2ng, you can tell by the MP. You don't need to count the damage. You can literally just tell by the MP that up2ng is further along in this fight. The Betastrep is absolutely going to come down to who gets the better damage rolls, who manages the double attacks. That is going to decide your winner today. This is, again, I cannot stress enough, this match has absolutely lived up to the hype. We are showing off what these runners who are in the top 15 on SRL can do. And now we just remain to see who can take down Dragon Lord 2 first.
The one thing is, Betastrep is pretty much a lock to win this fight. up2ng, it's up in the air. He's a little behind.
Well, don't look now. High Spirits noting that the opening swings for Betastrep are 6, 6, 6, and 8. Right there, way at the bottom of the range. Again, up2ng, his first 3 attacks were up there at the top of the range. I haven't really been able to keep track of what's happened since then. So I'm not sure if up2ng necessarily needs to manufacture a double out of this one, but obviously would probably feel a little bit more comfortable. I'm sure he is counting. Gonna go ahead and swing on 49. And he is surviving that. Gonna go ahead and play the odds. Blywin in chat
says he has 2 doubles so far, so he should win.
Yeah, I'm curious if up2ng is swinging on 49 because he thinks he has to, or if he's not sure that he could die there. There's a double attack for up2ng. Gonna go ahead and follow that up with a 12. Didn't see what the first one was, but that's gonna make him feel a lot more comfortable about finishing out this fight.
Yeah,
alrighty, up2ng. up2ng, the MP is dwindling and manufacturing yet another double attack, and both those attacks were double digits. And I have to imagine he's really close, down to his last 2 heal more. He's going to go ahead and take this swing here. 6 damage, and he has done it, folks. up2ng, a clutching victory, scraping it out of out of the bottom of the barrel after he couldn't find those last 2 things he needs. Everybody, please drop those GGs in chat, as up2ng is going to be the first person to finish this race. And there is the dot done. up2ng is your winner, is going to move on to 1-0. Finished in first place with an SRL time of 1:17.24. And I imagine that Betastrep will not be too far behind. High Spirits noting that Betastrep, as he finishes up as well, had about 10 6s. Garbo rolls, bad luck from start to finish, but in the end, Betastrep has finished in second place with an official SRL time of 1:18.03. I have gone ahead and offered up2ng to join us here in the Coster's booth. He said he'll be here in about 2 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and make the same invite to Betastrep. Absolutely. Oh, Smashy noting both runners getting minimum damage to finish DL2. If we could get those stats flashed up on the screen, I would like to see what the final HP total was. Turn left in Abesh. When will we get this many DW2 races? Hopefully, you know, maybe sometime soon. That would be kind of nice. And 164 right there at the right one off the max. So definitely testing the mettle of both of our runners here, as again 125 attack power is basically the minimum you'd ever want to go with. And Mr. Smokes, are there any late light races? I can almost guarantee that as soon as we wrap this up, someone's going to open up a race room and probably get a follow-up race here. It sounds like Lord of the Sith might be interested. And yeah, other than that, we're just going to go ahead and wait on... Oh, looks like we have up2ng here in chat with us. up2ng, man, that was amazing. I'm just going to go ahead and let you know now. You guys were neck and neck diving Charlock. You were neck and neck getting down to the bottom floor. You were fighting Dragon Lord 2 at the exact same time. That race lived up to the hype that we gave it here, you guys being 11 and 13 on the leaderboards. How do you feel, man?
Oh, I am absolutely exhausted, man. That was like, it felt like just a sprint for almost the whole way. And I kept thinking, like, at the end, I think I did 162 damage. Maybe I should just, like, YOLO swing at this guy. And then I was like, you know what? I'm not really 100% sure how much damage I did. Let me just do another heal more. If this costs me the race, then so be it. And it looks like it almost cost me the race.
Yeah, it was really close. It basically came down to damage rolls. It was noted in chat that betastrep got about 10 sixes during his fight. So it really did come down to to those swings. And I noticed you were swinging on 49. I'm not sure if maybe you were aware that that was a potentially unsafe swing. Obviously, very low odds you actually die there. But I'm kind of curious if that was more out of like cognizant desperation or just I got to do this here.
Yeah, it was 2 different times I was at 49, and I actually didn't totally know what my defense power was on the last level. I know at the previous level I had 82, so I knew if I didn't get much on 16, which I didn't look at that stat, which I probably should have, but I knew that I probably could still get hit for 49, but at the time I wasn't getting any double attacks. He was just breathing fire on me like 8 times in a row. And the numbers, like if somehow you didn't get any double attacks, were pretty close. I was just banking on the fact that I would get like 3 or 4 of them because it was such a long fight, and I just wasn't getting any. So I was like, well, I'm just gonna swing at 49. I don't know. And later on in the fight, I was getting the double attack, so it wasn't necessary after all.
Well, I would say I think you finished with 1 spare heal more, so I would actually say that was absolutely the right decision. And just for note, we did have our tracker Smashy throw up the DL2 stats. 164 hit points was the count, 1 off the max. So I'm sure you guys both basically did that max in that marathon of a battle, finishing the sprint of a seed.
Yeah. Probably the other thing, well, there was one little map error that I had where I mixed up the staff cave with the tablet cave towards the end. I was gonna like swing by that direction to pick up the staff while looking for the coordinates, and then I realized it was the wrong cave. So I'm not too thrilled about that. I wish I had not made that error. That was like a 30-second error or something. And then the other thing is I was kind of caught in between when I had everything finally. I knew that like with the low defense power I had and not great attack power, that fighting through Charlock wasn't going to be that great. And I just wanted to get like a half a level, and I really didn't want to fight golems or blue dragons. So I did this thing for like 2 minutes of looking for Axe Knights, and it just went way slower than I expected. I thought I was going to get more of them than that. And I was like, this is just going to cost me the race too. I just, I aborted that plan after like 2 minutes, but I wasn't really sure what to do. I kind of like wish I just had like 500 more experience at that moment in time, so I could have just gone to Charlock.
Alrighty. betastrep saying that he can't get Discord to recognize his mic, so he's just going to pop into chat, which he has done, and hasn't actually answered any questions yet. I will note, pretty much throughout this race, you and betastrep employed very, very diverse strategies. I think betastrep started heading out on the map around level 3 or level 4, found Breckenary and Cole and the armor very early, while you instead chose to grind the warlocks and the wolves just north of Tantagel. You had an experience lead pretty much the entire race. Could you kind of talk through what your thought process was there?
Man, must be nice to find coal early. I was getting worried that it didn't exist in this seed. It was the very last thing that I found. I was like, oh my gosh. And the map felt really large. So I was just like, I felt like there was still a lot left to explore in certain directions. I was like, oh, this could be just forever finding this last town. But Luckily, it wasn't like way in the corner of the map or anything. But yeah, in the beginning, I'm trying to remember how the beginning went, because we picked up heal and heal more at some point. But what was the deal there? You know, we didn't start with any gold, and I wasn't really sure what would be the purpose of really looking too much further than I looked. You know, I found Swamp Cave, and then I saw Hawksness eventually right there, you know, and then in that situation, it was like I tried a couple of times when I was like, you know, running low on MP or whatever, to just go a couple of ways. But for the most part, I wanted to make sure I had like a little bit of money before I started running around like that. And so, you know, just in this seed, I thought it made sense to just get level 7 and 8. It turned out that the wolf didn't have any abilities, and the warlock was the other good enemy in that zone, and it was a desert zone. So if you can get like 2 of the higher enemies for the secondary zone, and they're fairly easy, and I think it's like worth getting an extra level in that zone, just because you don't really know what you're going to run into when you start running around.
Exactly, and that's an interesting point to make, because betastrep was basically getting blocked in all directions. Even before he managed to get to Brecconary the first time, he ran into an AK-47, which took him out, and I think he saw one kind of northwest of Tantagel too. And to that point, one thing that definitely behooved you in your early grind was you got, I think it was either level 7 or level 8, gave Hurt more, and you got that, I mean, well before betastrep, and that basically led to you being double and at one point triple his experience as your experience points. So your experience total just basically exploded after that.
Yeah, once that happens kind of in the mid game, it feels like the whole race is just a sprint, because you just want to get through those encounters as fast as possible, and you're just kind of like, you can hardly keep up with the map, and you're like, I don't write anything down with maps, so I'm just trying to like remember in my mind, you know, the geography while I'm following a coastline or something. Once you get hurt more, it's like you cover the map so fast, it's like, it's hard to keep up with it. But yeah, I mean, that is one of the main advantages of doing kind of an earlier grind. If you happen to pick up hurt more somewhere in there, then it's helpful. Obviously, the disadvantage would be, you know, if he went somewhere and found something really helpful. I mean, he found the armor, which is helpful, but obviously the big dream is to go somewhere and find the sword. And I feel like if you're really kind of stuck in the early game, it makes more sense to do some exploring like that. But it just felt like with the wolf and the warlock that like I was just picking up experience so quickly. Like I like to just keep that momentum going, you know. Yeah, if I just wasn't getting any experience, let's say they were all just like red slimes in that zone or something, then, you know, obviously you got to go looking for something else to do. But I don't know. It's like a feel thing, and everybody has their own way of dealing with when is it time to get out of there.
Yeah, and I would go ahead and say, you know, betastrep has noted in chat, he said, I generally favor exploration strats, especially with healing spells. It is worth noting both of you had heal and heal more very early on. And he said, I was hoping to find Rimbledar or a cave with keys/sword.
Yeah,
he said elevated
keys
agility.
can definitely be a big thing when you're looking around early, for sure. I mean, if you find keys and there are a couple of places that you can go back to and open up, then it's great. I'm not sure if they're in this one, if it turned out that there was anything close except Tantagel, you know, for you know, Garenham was not like close by or anything like that. But yeah, I mean, if the sword happens to be in the castle and you get keys first, that's huge.
And technically, I would say that keys actually did not happen to be too far away, because if I remember correctly, they were just, you know, you go to the other side of Swamp Cave, you walk a little bit north, and there's Rimbledar, which you were the first to find.
If you happen to go that way, it was, yep. If you happen to go that way, I can't remember how long it took me to go that way. I mean, going through Swamp Cave was one of the earlier things that I did, but then I went south from there and didn't see that town, you know, at least on my first pass. Yeah, if you happen to go north there, you would have gone right into Rimbledar, and that would have helped. Although keys in this one didn't really propel things forward that much. The sword, I didn't find Garenham until later. The sword was in Garenham, but that was, you know, kind of far away. I guess for me, the big thing that it did was I went directly back to the castle, and there was a dungeon under the castle. So I did go kind of out of my way to reset up a gold grind there so that I could go back. I did see the flame sword and the magic armor in Remeldar, which was the only town that I had found. So luckily I went from like no equipment, you know, to pretty good equipment through that process. And, you know, that all starts with keys. So yeah, exploring and getting keys definitely is a pretty big thing, but I just felt like just in the very first 5 or 10 minutes, it would have been useful to get a couple of more levels, and it just happened to be hurt more. So that was pretty big for me.
Absolutely. And I would say, you know, again, looking over betastrep's philosophy, kind of continuing to read chat here, he says, elevated agility equals easier to run. You guys had 44 agility by like level 4, making you a favorite to run from anything below Blue Dragon, basically.
Oh yeah, totally agree. That's a good time to get started with exploring, although you don't want to just be running away from everything is the other side of the coin, you know, if you're just running, and that you're just falling behind too. So it's really tough to figure out exactly what's the best way to go. And I think sometimes it just, you don't know because you haven't seen the seed yet, you know, so some maps like lend itself to one way and some for the other. And you're just kind of guessing, you know.
Yeah, exactly. And I would say, you know, if you remember, Nescard was talking about, I believe, in the weekly from Sunday, about the fact that, you know, he's played a lot of seeds recently in which like a cave with keys was nearby. In fact, we played a seed exactly like that. I believe there was like Mountain Cave with a key in it just northwest of Tantagel. And so having that up there and seeing that, you know, Rimeldar might be just off screen somewhere to the south. You know, basically, I would say it almost comes down to a coin flip in a situation like this where I would say neither of you made the wrong decision. Like, again, betastrep did a whole bunch of exploring. He found the armor before you did. A little unfortunate that he didn't find the keys, but I would say, like, there's a good case for both of you to do what you did, because if keys are just right outside one of the zones, but also you got the warlocks and wolves to grind, I mean, who knows what's going to pay off.
Yeah, I mean, last thing I'll say about the start, really, I mean, it's fairly unusual, believe it or not, to leave the castle and just have like no help, you know, whether or not there are some seeds where you get the sword, some seeds where you get an extra key, and oftentimes you start with gold, and, you know, or even like a cursed belt that you can go sell or something. And this one we started with the fighter's ring and the dragon scale. Something like that happens, I think, only like 20 or 25% of the time. So in this one, it's like you can go running around for Rimeldar, but then you can't even buy a key. You know what I mean? Like, you have to have some money to work with, and that's at least for like the first 3 or 4 levels. That's what I was focused on, just getting a couple of 100 gold together. I mean, otherwise, what's the point, you know?
Yeah, absolutely sound logic there. And the one last thing I'll say about the beginning of the seed, it was pretty hilarious. If you watch it back, betastrep performed what I think may be a Dragon Warrior Randomizer record for the fastest death ever. Zone 1 being like just 3 steps south of Tantagel. Betastrep walked right into a wolf, which back attacked him and sent him right back to Sharlock in about 3 seconds.
Yeah, I had the opposite look. I went the exact same direction, and like I was like, oh, it's a wolf, and I managed to run away, and I just kept trying to go north. I was like, all right, let's go back to the north of the castle. And I got stopped like 2 or 3 more times, like every step or whatever. I was like, oh, I got to get out of this zone. And actually, we started with some agility, so I ran from those enemies, and then I ended up just staying north of the castle. It was crazy. But like, what happened later on in the seed? Because for me, it felt like the map was large, and some of the stuff was pretty far away, and so I didn't actually get everything until it was just about time to go. I'm curious if betastrep managed to round up the items and then like had to grind it all, because the grind options weren't great either. So I'm curious if he ended up finding any sort of a grind situation.
He actually opted to grind on the Blue Dragon in the Swamp Cave for several levels. I think he went from like 13 to 15, maybe even 12 to 15, because it actually turned out we did go ahead and throw the stats up. They were 75% heal more, 75% hurt more, and they only had, you had 15, 16 chance to hit stop spell. And so he was basically stop spelling them, which basically made them toothless. And yeah, he It wasn't the greatest grind in the world, but that's how he got the vast majority of experience after putting all the items
if the
together.
stop spell does stick that often, I mean, I guess it's an option. It's I just felt that like that was gross. Like if we had high attack power and you could always 3-shot it, that's okay. But like when you take a turn to do the stop spell and then you have to like swing 5 times or something, I don't know. I didn't like any of the options. We have hurt more, and it's like either it's a blue dragon or like a golem. It's like, ugh, I don't know. Thankfully, I just got all the experience while I was trying to round everything up, so I didn't have to worry too much about grinding.
Exactly, and that's the kind of point that I was making while we were watching it, because I'm serious, man. You guys took very different paths in this seed. Betastrep, for pretty much the entirety of the seed, had the informational advantage over you. There was one point where you guys had information the other needed because you found Shrine Cave and Rimeldar before Beta did. Beta, of course, finding Breckenary, and he found Breckenary, the Jerk, and Cole in the armor before you did. But there was a point where Betastrep had basically caught up for information, and your lead was entirely inexperienced. And again, like it was pretty incredible, the fact that, you know, you do the grind, you get hurt more at level 7, and then you take like 5 steps to the right and just get a whole bunch of Axe Knights. That had to feel pretty good.
Yeah, that worked out extremely well, I have to say. That was pretty crazy. And that's why I was like, I'm expecting at the end to get more Axe Knights there, because every other step in the beginning there, I had an Axe Knight. So it's like, oh, this is great. And then the occasional Droll Magi or whatever, which turned out to be kind of a mean enemy. But I mean, when we had hurt more, yeah, that zone, it was so, it was memorable. So that's why I like remembered it at the end. I wanted to go back there and pick up a few Axe Knights, but then I was just, you know, walking 100 steps and not finding an Axe Knight. So I don't know.
Yeah, it was wild, like watching you walk around the second continent, where, you know, you were walking around the second continent, trying to put the last few things together as Betastrep was doing his grind. And I think if the grind is just any less, you know, palatable, any more palatable, then maybe he overtakes you faster, makes that first dive, and just wraps everything up. But the way that it kind of worked out is you were kind of wandering around and hurt-boring things and, you know, cauterizing things with your flame sword, and eventually the, you know, Erdrick's can opener. You know, you were keeping up. And so that's what led to this. Again, I got to say, this absolute nail biter. Like, absolutely watch it back. This was, again, like, amazing race.
You know what was interesting about the map, too, is it felt like I used the return spell like a lot. Like I would go somewhere and it would go 4 or 5 screens in one direction, but just kind of like a thin peninsula, and then it would just end. So then it was just like, all right, return, and then like go a different way. And it's not always, it's rare that happens, really. I must have cast return just for like routing purposes 7 or 8 times. Like, I don't know. So it was nice that we started with that spell early. I know that.
I was gonna say, it must be nice to have return. I wouldn't know anything about that spell.
Yeah, I caught your race. It was congrats on that one, by the way. It was a good victory earlier today.
Thank you. I had to laugh at the fact that I think we picked up 3 wings incidentally, just kind of in our travels. I never bought one, and there was one time where I used one to head back to Tantagel and grab the coordinates, and there was another time where I used one, I don't remember exactly why, and then we just had that final one in our back pocket, so we didn't have to make the walk to Shane back to Tantagel. And I noticed that Demarine also made that heads-up play of realizing that she did not have the return spell. I think we both finished on either 14 or 15, and then just threw those wings to get the finish. But yeah, getting the return and outside spells pretty early is going to make the exploration that much quicker.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I was pretty nervous about this race. I felt like it was tough to get this matchup in round 1 of the tournament.
I would agree.
You know, I know Betastrep is like, he's clearly a top 10 runner in this randomizer, and you know, regardless, I don't know where he is in the SRL these days. He usually doesn't like worry about SRL rankings and stuff. So
I can tell you,
watch his races and you see who he's beating routinely. It's, you know, he's one of the best runners. So I was pretty nervous all week for this race, and I can imagine, like, even if I did everything I could, I knew it had to be close the whole time. So, and it
Betastrep
was.
says, yeah, Betastrep says SRL disagrees. Right now, you are in 11th place, and Beta is in 13th. So, but I would say, you know, SRO points are a mystery. They're quite volatile. So, yeah, I would absolutely consider both of you top 10 runners. Absolutely. You guys have been there before. You'll be there again in short order, I imagine.
Yeah, and thanks while I have a chance to you, Lavkian, in particular, for covering it, and the restreamers and trackers. It's always much appreciated to get these things broadcast. I think the whole community benefits, and yeah, I really appreciate it. Thanks for doing it.
And shout outs to McGrew as well, my co-commentator. Did you have any questions for up2ng?
Nope, I think you covered everything.
Alrighty, any McGrew, any further thoughts on the seed or potential matchups in the future?
No, I mean, I guess in theory it's supposed to get tougher from here, although, you know, the matchup I feel like doesn't get much tougher than I had this week, but, you know, I'm going to end up with another 1-0, so I'm sure it'll be challenging no matter what. And it was also interesting that we were one of the last races that just worked out that way with scheduling, and I feel like there's one that is still lingering out there that I'm not sure what's going to happen with it. They may not end up
there
fitting it in.
is. I think it's Tilo and someone else. I don't remember exactly.
I remember it was Tristal. I think Tristal had like a vacation and he was like trying to get the race in early in the week, and then it didn't work out. So like, I don't know. I hope they figure something out for that. It would be a shame to, you know, not have everybody run their first round races. But
Exactly.
yeah, other than that one race, we were the last ones. So just sometime tomorrow, I imagine we'll get to see who we're racing next week and, you know, go from there.
Yeah, as soon as Ouijui and Tristal lock in their race, we'll basically as soon as they schedule it, I think we're going to go ahead and get those matchups. Lord of the Synths, yeah, it's Ouijui and Tristal, and Lord of the Synths says they'll run sometime Sunday or Monday, of course, here on the Randomizer Network. So I'm just going to go ahead and say up2ng. I look forward to the next 1-0 matchups, and I wouldn't mind if it was us, because I think that would be an exciting race.
You never know. It could easily be. Thanks, guys.
Alrighty, yeah, thank you up2ng. Thank you, of course, to betastrep for putting on again an amazing race. As we pretty much with one more race to go, either Sunday or Monday, pretty much closing out week 1 with an absolute banger of a race. You know, putting on a wonderful show. And let's go ahead and drop those commands in chat one more time. Please give all of these hardworking people a follow. You had up2ng and betastrep putting on a wonderful show on your stream. Go ahead and drop a follow on those guys. For more information about the Discord, or for more information and to discuss the Dragon Warrior Randomizer, please join our Discord. Do not be shy. Sackett AD2. Yes, the race is over. Unfortunately, you can go ahead and check that VOD. I highly recommend that you do. It was one of the most exciting races you're going to see here in week 1. But to get back to the community, please, if you have any interest in running this game at all, join that Discord. We would be more than happy to help. We'd more than happy to teach you how the randomizer works. And then behind the scenes here, myself, lavkian, my co-commentator, McGrew, thanks so much for stepping in and helping out at the last second. Tracking again was Smashy, and the restreamer was Lord of the Synth. All of that coming together to put this amazing show on for you. Again, keep an eye out for Tristal and Ouijui to close out the week 1 matchups coming up here either Sunday or Monday on the Randomizer Networks. And then right after that, do not go anywhere, because we're going to have the second round matchups revealed. 1-0s all go up against 1-0s, 0-1s go up against 0-1s. I think someone may also get that bye as they did in this round, as we do have, I believe, 63 runners in this tournament. But until then, once again, thank you so much to everybody. And have a wonderful evening. Until next time, good night, everybody.